It seems like with every day that passes, Jeremy Corbyn is vindicated for being on the right side of history. He was on the right side of history when it comes to the brutal treatment of Palestinians by Israel, which is now obviously reaching a boiling point where even the right-wing Labour Party is recognising that Israel is going a step too far. Of course, right now they are virtue signalling because losing 30 weapons licenses compared out of 350 is an insult. But they know, they know that this is the side of virtue. However, Jeremy Corbyn has been on the right side of history with regards to Grenfell Tower fire, wherein the safety concerns weren't taken seriously, even when brought up by the Grenfell Action Group. This organisation within composed of tenants of Grenfell Tower. They raised concerns about the flammable cladding. Of course, these concerns were ignored. In fact, there were legal threats made against the very blogger who wrote the article decrying the lack of safety. But Jeremy Corbyn was obviously on the right side of history because, of course, he knows that the working class, the poor, the migrants, of course, are not treated with the same respect and right to life as the more wealthy Londoners. He was correct in this video.
Grenfell Tower would not have happened, Mr. Speaker, to wealthy Londoners. It happened to poor and mainly migrant Londoners.
And of course, as a result of this, Tory MPs, being Tories, the protectorate of the ruling class, of the super wealthy, they jeered at him, they made fun of him, which is quite ironic because Tory MPs right now are, if they want to make an argument about virtue signalling, they're virtue signalling about Israel. Of course, they're virtue signalling for a bad reason, or rather they're trying to signal virtue for an immoral reason. I mean, if you have virtue, why not signal it? In this case, Tory MPs don't have any virtue. They're mainly trying to play to this aesthetics of anti-wokeism, which is essentially a lack of nuanced and intelligent thinking with regards to oppression and how people are marginalized, how people are mistreated in a system of an institution that benefits a certain proportion of people, a tiny proportion of people, the super wealthy. Jeremy Corbyn was right when he said this.
Those people died for no reason other than the greed and incompetence of public officials, the greed of private companies. And so when the Prime Minister replied to the statement today, I thought the important point he made was there was a whole culture of contracting out. A contractor is employed to do some work. They employ a subcontractor. They employ a subcontractor. They employ a subcontractor. At the end of the day, you've no idea who's responsible for what. There's no responsibility anywhere. Local authorities underfunded, insufficient resources for their building control departments. Often, the developers end up marking their own homework and ticking the boxes to say the work they've done is safe.